Hospital rooms can be drab, depressing places. That's why it's a thoughtful and helpful gesture to send patients gifts to cheer their spirits. In fact, many psychologists believe there's a healing power in gifts like these, along with, of course, personal visits. Ruth Atkins is seriously ill in a room at Mercy Hospital. Nobody's sending anything to her room. Right now, Nurse Peyton is concerned. She's about to be astounded.
I never wanted to work in one of those sprawling medical centers where the patients were only referred to by their room number or by their insurance company billing ID. So I was glad to find a job at Mercy Memorial where I could give my patients personal attention. One of those patients was Ruth Atkins. She had arrived at the hospital in a comatose state due to acute blood acidosis, a potentially fatal condition. Sadly, she had no visitors in the 3 days since she'd been admitted.
How's Mrs. Atkins doing?
Oh, she's not getting any better. Her blood pH levels are down and her blood pressure's extremely low.
Well, it's likely she'll never come out of that coma.
It's just sad that she has to be alone at a time like this.
Well, it's not like she'd know if anyone was here.
I really believe that comatose patients can sense the presence of a loved one.
Well, then you'll be glad to know. The hospital's been able to locate Mrs. Atkins' son.
Oh, really? Is he going to come see her?
Well, he's in the Navy, stationed on a ship in the Bering Sea, but he is trying to arrange a leave.
Well, I just pray that he gets here in time. It was later that same day when I saw a man visiting Mrs. Atkins.
He's not on this floor. Yes, but oddly, doctors don't report their whereabouts to me. Oh.
Well, it looks like Mrs. Atkins finally has a visitor.
Oh, I hadn't noticed. The hospital community liaison might have notified Mrs. Atkins' church. Yes?
Yeah, he must be her minister.
Okay.
Huh. Looks like Mrs. Atkins' blood pressure has improved. With Mrs. Atkins' particular illness, it was unheard of for a patient to experience such sudden improvement. The doctors couldn't explain it, but I was grateful just the same. It may have bought enough time for her son to see his mother one last time. As it turned out, Mrs. Atkins' improvement had been temporary. Her vital signs dipped back down during the night. Prognosis wasn't promising, and her son hadn't arrived yet.
Joni, I know how much you wanted Mrs. Atkins to pull through. I know how much you root for all your patients, but it's going to wear you down if you keep getting this emotionally involved with every patient that you care for.
I didn't become a nurse so that I could be disinterested in the outcome.
But you have to realize that for Mrs. Atkins to pull through this, it would take a miracle.
Well, I happen to believe in miracles. Deep down, I knew the senior nurse was right. I shouldn't hold out hope. But then, just as before, Mrs. Atkins' condition suddenly improved. The man continued to visit her regularly, and with each visit, Mrs. Atkins seemed to get better. Eventually, she came out of her coma, baffling the doctors once again. When her son arrived, we were able to greet him with the best possible news. His mother was headed for a full recovery.
They want to keep an eye on me a little longer, but they say I'll be able to go home soon.
Well, it looks like you fooled all those doctors. They didn't know my mother was made of such tough stuff.
With her condition stabilized, Mrs. Atkins moved out of intensive care and into a private room on the lower floor.
Thank you for taking such good care of my mother.
Hi, come in.
Hi. I just finished my shift, so I thought I'd drop by. Wow, your room looks so cheery.
My son brought some things from home to make me feel more comfortable.
Oh, what beautiful flowers.
Some people from the church brought those by yesterday when they looked in on me.
Oh, that reminds me. I stopped by because I found your Bible in your room in ICU.
How on earth did it get there?
Oh, I think that your minister left it there.
My minister?
Your visitor? It's a beautiful Bible.
My husband gave me this Bible. We used to go to church every Sunday. Here's a photo of us taken on Easter a few years back.
Oh, this is your husband. He has such a warm and comforting smile. I thought he was your minister.
Oh, heavens no. Martin was never in the clergy. He was a building contractor. Until he passed away 2 years ago.
But that man who was just here.
You're the first visitor I've had today, dear.
After questioning her co-workers, Joni learned she was the only person who ever saw the man at Mrs. Atkins' bedside. Did Ruth Atkins' late husband actually return as an angel to visit her every day? Or was it Joni's own faith that permitted her to see a miracle? But how do you explain that it was only after Joni saw Mr. Atkins that Ruth started to recover? If you're looking for truth here, can you walk right in? Or are visiting hours over?